See, when they built the Titanic, I don't know if you know this, but when they built the Titanic and they're going to sail from Liverpool to New York, and they're making this journey, one of the ones who made the Titanic said, was asked in an interview just before they left Liverpool. He was asked, do you think this whole ship can actually sink in the ocean? And you know what he said? This Jabbar, this tyrant said. He said that even if God wanted to sink it, he couldn't sink it. This is in their record. This is in their media. This is you dig it up, you find it. He said even if God wanted to sink it, he wouldn't be able to sink it. So they went. They went on this cruise liner, this ship, and they sailed across, and they got somewhere near to the, on the Pacific side, and it was night time. They're all having a wonderful time on the ship. These are the wealthiest people who can afford this. Can you imagine? They're the wealthiest people who can afford this. And the luxuries on this Titanic, there is nothing like this in the world. So what happened is this night time, it's, ahead is a bit of mist, right? Ahead is mist. And they all know that in this freezing weather, there can be icebergs that are, they're like mountains from the seabed that rise up. They know this. But Allah's got their hearts in His hand. So He makes the sailor of this ship say, nah, don't worry. You guys have a nice time. Don't worry. Yeah? Don't worry. Titanic. What's an iceberg going to do to Titanic? An iceberg will break. He's thinking what? He's thinking, if I go ahead, I'll go slowly, but if I just go ahead, and if I hit an iceberg, this thing's so big, it's going to break the tip of the iceberg. That's what went in his head. Allah made him believe that. So they went ahead in the night time, and it came across and it hit. And before he went ahead, some of his other sailors said to him, it's not safe. I read about this. I read a whole article about this. They said to him, it's not safe. And he said, don't worry. What can happen? Don't worry. Right? So he went ahead, and it was a very sharp iceberg that they hit. They sliced into it. And then after a little while, it's like they're still playing their music and they're enjoying themselves, and some are asleep and whatever, the chefs are cooking. And then next minute they know, the sailor says, we're going down. They built this Titanic so strong that they believed that it couldn't snap. One of the theories was it can't snap. And they believed that it couldn't be, you couldn't take it down the ocean. So water started to come inside here. Okay? What's happening now is that it's getting heavy here, heavier and heavier. And this part of the boat, the other side of the boat, is now lifting. And it got so high that in the middle is snapped. When Allah gets a tyrant on the earth, He's going to make sure that people are around to talk about the story. And they live with a face of fear and humbleness to tell the story of what Allah did to them. They told stories to their children, and their children told that story to their children, and Allah showed them who Al-Jabbar is, who the real mighty one is. Where is that guy who made that statement now, that even if God wanted to sink this ship, he couldn't even sink it? Where is that guy now? And this is Allah saying to all the rest of mankind, don't challenge me.